Our last question is coming from Brian online, who asks, what do you propose be done about the NSA and other branches of government that are now actively spying on us and depriving us of our rights to privacy and free speech? At this point, I see no large number of representatives taking any actions.
Okay, Brian, thank you for asking that question. This has been something that I've been worried about a lot as well, as a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and as someone who has spent a lot of time studying the Constitution. I am very concerned when we've got a federal agency spying on American citizens. Now, the NSA was set up to collect foreign intelligence, to collect information from outside the United States, about people outside the United States who might present a threat to American national security. It was not set up to spy on U.S. citizens. It was not set up to collect domestic surveillance. And I think that they're doing a lot of things that are very disturbing and that are wrong. I mean, look, for them to be able to collect data on who you call from your cell phone and who is calling your cell phone, and then to be able to collect the same data on basically every American and every telephone across the United States is unconscionable. Now, they frequently respond by saying, well, there aren't very many people who have access to that information, and we don't let anyone access that information unless they have a really good reason, one that relates to protecting American national security. My response to that is, we've seen this movie before. We know how it ends, and I don't care how well-intentioned and well-educated these people are who run the NSA. Sooner or later, whether it's next week, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I don't know, but I know eventually that information will be abused. It'll be abused severely for nefarious purposes, perhaps even political purposes. And in any event, it's an affront to the Constitution and to the fundamental rights of the American people to be snooped on by their own government in this regard. So I'm working hard with a number of my colleagues, many of them from across the aisle, to deal with this situation. I've got different pieces of legislation that I'm running with Democratic senators, including Senator Jeff Merkley, including Senator Ron Wyden, including Senator Pat Leahy, including Senator Tom Udall, each dealing with a different aspect of NSA's domestic surveillance program. Some of these proposals involve requiring the government to get a search warrant anytime it wants to search that database for information regarding a U.S. citizen. We can't have them collecting all this data and then leaving them at liberty to search it without a search warrant. That's not okay. And so, look, this is an issue that is neither Democratic nor Republicans. It's really neither liberal nor conservative. It's simply American. And you are absolutely right to be concerned about this, and please know that I, for one, am fighting hard to protect your rights in this regard. And I will always fight to do the right thing under the Constitution. I will always fight against any effort by the federal government to circumvent the Constitution, and that's what I'm doing here.
Okay. Thanks to everyone who joined the call tonight. Remember, you can follow what Senator Lee is doing here in Washington in between his Tele-town hall meetings by liking him on Facebook, following him on Twitter, and signing up for his newsletter at lee.senate.gov.